You're watching We Talk Community, and, well, I'm your host, CJ, and this is part 4 of the CD collection. I'm going to try to get through this series. This series is quite daunting. It's quite a daunting task to go through all the CDs that I've accumulated over the years and basically hopefully get you into some new bands if you haven't already checked these ones out that I'm going to show today. It is the category of the CDs that start with D. I'm gonna try not to misspeak because I kind of know the joke that would be coming. So, yeah. So the first one to start off with is going to be Dark Angel Leave Scars. Amazing thrash metal, old school thrash metal. Really old thrash metal, more of like a thrash death band, but still really good from the 80s. Of course, Dark Fortress with their 2010 album. Really like this band. Wish I had a lot more from them, but still really good. Their vocalist is really good as well. Band that I recently seen live, which is Dark Funeral. Secrets of the Black Arts. If you've never checked out this band, they're one of the best black metal bands out there. I know a lot of people say that they're like commercial black metal. Not really, honestly. Like they are kind of, but any band that becomes big is going to get that hate because, well, a lot of people hate bands that become big, which I don't understand. Um, Diabolus Interim, probably their most extreme record, has some really good songs in it, like Hail Murder and Goddess of Sodomy. If you've never listened to this one, check this one out. This is one's really worth your time. Atera from 2005, I'm pretty sure, or yeah, maybe 2005 or maybe even later. I don't really remember. Yeah, it doesn't really tell you. It's got 666 Voices Inside and God Hate, which those are probably the best two on the album. Where Shadows Forever Reign, the first one with their current vocalist. Absolutely amazing record. As I Ascend, Temple of Ahriman, Eternal Eclipse. A lot of great stuff on this one as well. Another one that basically everything from this band you should check out because they're really good. Really good black metal. Quality black metal. We Are the Apocalypse. The newest one that I reviewed last year came out in 2022. And seen them on the tour for this one. They're definitely the classic, one of the more classic death metal, black metal bands out there. With what this is basically all black metal coming up because it's like dark, like it's that range. Dark Moon with an EP, 308 Antichrist. This is either black metal or death metal. Haven't really heard it in a very long time. Blaze in the Northern Sky. Dark Throne, one of the most classic records of all time. 1991, probably the start of the second wave of black metal with the studio. That and Immortals' first album. This is actually their second. They had a death metal album that came before it, which kind of is weird to think about. Under a Funeral Moon, another great album, another great classic. Another great classic album. Eternal Sleep, Unholy Black Metal, Walk in the Eternal Fields. This one has Catherian Life Code, which is probably my favorite Dark Throne song ever. And yeah, Transylvanian Hunger. This is the copy that has the thing that the band regrets putting on their record. But if you know, you know. Picked this one up at Hell's Headbangers Convention. I think it was pretty fun to find that one. Transylvanian Hunger is also the one that contains the lyrics from Varg. Not really a big fan of Varg. Not really a big Burzum fan, but if you watched part 2, you probably would realize that because they did have Burzum. Panzerfaust, the fifth album from them, or the fourth black metal record. More of like heavier, more intense than 4. Hordes of Nebula is just in Triumphant Gleam. Like, holy shit, this album is really good. You should check this one out as well. And then the one that came after it, actually still a good album. A lot of people kind of shit on Total Death, but I think Total Death is good. I picked it up because, well, I ordered it because it was a great album and I checked it out beforehand and fell in love with it. We go to more Dark Throne, which Goat Lord was supposed to be a studio record, but then they released it as like an experimental pressing. Still good. It's Dark Throne. Dark Throne's good all the way. Everything Dark Throne's ever done is good. Ravishing Grimness from 1999. I know a lot of people don't like this one either because it's more. It's not classic black metal because, well, anything outside of like 1995 for them is like, people don't really consider it classic Dark Throne anymore. Old Star, first one that I think this is the first one I reviewed on my channel from this band, and it did make 2019's list. It only has 6 songs, and some key ones are Hardship of the Scots and Duke of Gloat. Check those songs out as well. There's a lot of stuff that I'm recommending. And yeah, Eternal Halls from 2011, I'm pretty sure. 2021. 2011. Why did I say that? 2021. And this is 2022, the album right after it, which is Astral Fortress. Reviewed this one as well. That one was good as well. We get to one of the best bands of all time, which is Death. If you've ever... Death metal is my favorite genre, and this is one of my favorite bands from this genre. And that is Death. Scream Bloody Gore, the wall flag that I had in my old room, I still haven't put it up yet. I'm probably going to put that one up again. I know this setup is quite bare, but yeah, Death, Scream Bloody Gore, definitely a really good album. It's got Zombie Ritual and Mutilation, Regurgitated Guts, and Sacrificial. A lot of great stuff on this one as well. Leprosy, Death Leprosy, another great classic. Forgotten Past, Open Casket. Open Casket, that solo is just so fucking great. I know Open Casket solo is probably my favorite solo that Death ever did, that Chuck Schuldiner ever did right. And he was good at writing solos. Leprosy, Born Dead, To This World. Absolutely love that part as well, that song as well. Spiritual Healing from 1990, the third album. Spiritual Healing, Low Life, Living Monstrosity, Altering the Future. They kind of, Chuck Schuldiner was kind of going more in the direction of progressive death metal at that time. Like, but still had that like really hard intensity. Don't really see that a lot with prog death nowadays, but yeah, Death always was extreme. Human, the fourth album. This one does have the God of Thunder bonus track, which is absolutely amazing. Lack of Comprehension, See Through Dreams, Together as One, The Suicide Machine. A lot of great shit on this one. A lot of great songs on this. Like, I would say Death is perfect. I'd say the band is perfect. They have perfect 10 out of 10 records all the way across the board. Individual Thought Patterns, the next one, 1993. This one did feature Andy LaRocque from King Diamond, which is another one of my favorite bands. I know I talk a lot. I talk a lot about bands. I talk a lot about this stuff, and it's because I enjoy it a lot. It's one of my big passions is basically metal music and music in general, like how everything's done. But yeah, best ones on here: Nothing Is Everything, In Human Form, Overactive Imagination, The Philosopher. Just another like really good one as well. Then we move on to, I'm going to put this one here and put this over here to this side. Symbolic used to be my favorite, but another one moved up ahead of it. Symbolic, Zero Tolerance, Sacred Serenity, Without Judgment, Crystal Mountain. Holy shit, this album is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Love it from front to cover. Sound of Perseverance, the last one before Chuck Schuldiner passed away. Didn't know this band because I'd be about 1 year old if. Yeah, I was 1 year old when Chuck passed away in 2001. So, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to see this band live. It is one of the bands that I wish I got to see live because, for what I've heard, they've been really good. Spirit Crusher, Flesh and the Power It Holds, Voice of the Soul, Painkiller cover from they covered Judas Priest Painkiller on this one too. Overall, great stuff there. Death Angel, another one of the bands that I've seen a couple times. I've seen them twice. This is Act 3. Probably my least favorite Death Angel record. Kind of controversial to say that because a lot of people will consider this one of their better ones. There's a lot of good ones on here like Stagnant, Seemingly Endless Time, Stop. But the whole thing is with this one is their first two albums are more thrash metal. This is more like heavy metal, like 90s stuff. And you know how I feel. You know how I feel about a lot of the 90s stuff that came out of like thrash metal bands. I don't really like it too much from the 90s, and it's one of the better records from the 90s, just to say that. Double pack between Art of Dying and Killing Season, the two return records from this band when they returned in the 2000s. More of like a groove metal type thing, but still really good. Still has that edge that the first two had. The Evil Divide. Yes, I do have a signed copy of this one. I did show it in another video back when I did a signed copies video, and then promptly deleted the video a couple of years after I made it. Death Angel, Humanicide, the newest one from 2019, and I don't think this one made the end of the year list, but it was good anyways. It was very good. It's been one of the longer lasting bands in thrash metal that has stayed good. I know a lot of the old bands like Metallica kind of get. Yeah. This is one from last year, the only Decapitated album I own on CD, which is Cancel Culture. Kind of get it there. Basically, that it's kind of a controversial album just because it's calling out cancel culture, but yeah, nonetheless, it's good. It's a great album. Next one is actually another one of my favorite death metal bands that not a whole lot of people talk about, which is actually Deeds of Flesh. If anybody's heard of this band, Inbreeding from 1998. This fucking record is amazing. It's got absolutely amazing songs on it, like Canvas of Flesh, Feeding Time, Fly Shrine. Just absolutely great stuff on this one. I know this band doesn't get a whole lot of attention in the death metal community, a whole lot, but one of my favorites. And I do, the CDs that start with D have a lot of death metal for some reason. Deeds of Flesh, Mark of the Legion. I think this is the one that followed up from the last one that I showed. Yeah, 2001. Eric Lindmark. Rest in peace. He also did pass away, which is very sad because he's one of the best death metal vocalists. One of my favorites in death metal. From basically the beginning of my journey into death metal, Deeds of Flesh was one of the bands that was the main band that I listened to. One of them. Def Leppard. We get Def Leppard with On Through the Night. They're more British heavy metal record that not a whole lot of people talk about because they're so obsessed with the fucking Hysteria age. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Def Leppard's first 3 albums are way better than Hysteria. Way better. Absolutely way better. This album is way better than Hysteria. I know that's going to offend some people, but yeah, I have controversial music opinions, and that's one of them. This is one of the Rock Brigade, Hello America, When Walls Come Tumbling Down, Wasted, Rocks Off, Answer to the Master. Just absolutely amazing stuff on this one. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with what I said, but I stick by it. High and Dry, another great album from Def Leppard. And still kind of going into more of the rock, metal, or rock type thing. But still really good. Still got songs like Let It Go. Another Hit and Run. That's a really good one as well. Another Hit and Run. On Through the Night, which is the title of the previous album. For some stupid reason, they put that like that. But you would think they would put that song on Through the Night, but Bringing On the Heartbreak. Just amazing stuff on that one as well. I do actually have Hysteria, which is coming out, but yeah. Pyromania. This one is probably their first 3 are their pinnacle albums, and everything after it's kind of like not as good. Some songs on here are like Photograph. Die Hard the Hunter is one of the best songs they ever made. Rock of Ages, Action No Words, Billy's Got a Gun. Just some really great stuff on that one too. And we get to Hysteria, or a little bit overrated. Definitely overrated. No, this album is very overrated. And I know I'm going to offend some people that are big fans of glam metal by saying that, but this album is way overrated. It's good, but it's just not as fucking good as the first 3. Just not as good as the first 3. So that's that part. I'm going to move everything over to the back so I can keep going, which I have a lot more. I have a lot more, actually. And try not to knock the stuff off the table. There we go. Next one is another Def Leppard album. It's their brand new one, Diamond Star Halos, which I also consider better than Hysteria. So, yeah, you got this one that I also consider better than Hysteria. Their newest one, just absolutely amazing. Take What You Want, kick, fire it up. This guitar is one of the better songs, one of the best songs they've ever done. Like, it's just such an inspired album from a band that's been around for decades. And it's kind of rare to get that, but I did do a full review on that one. We get to Deicide, or our favorite satanic death metal band, or my favorite satanic death metal band. Deicide, with the first album from 1990. Lunatic of God's Creation, Sacrificial Suicide, Blasphemerian, Dead by Dawn, Deicide, Crucifixation. This is one of the classics. One of the classic albums. Not my favorite by this band, but still really good, and still one of their best albums. Legion. I know I shit on this one a few times back in the day when I did the ranking for it, but it has moved up in my list because I've listened to more of it. Like, it was kind of like the odd one out of the original ones, but yeah, Satan Spread, the Cacodemon, Dead But Dreaming, Trifixation, just fucking great stuff on this one too. In Hell I Burn, Revocate the Agitator, just fucking great, just absolutely fucking great. This album, Legion. Once Upon the Cross, probably one of their more like this is when their sound was like really fucking booming in it was basically like death metal slam poetry, mocking God, and yeah, it was just songs like "Kill the Christian," "Satan rules this world," "To be dead," "Trick or Betrayed." A lot of these, like, yeah, a lot of rhyming with this. A lot of just, yeah. That's what I liked about these albums from Deicide. These two, "Serpents of the Light" and "Once Upon the Cross." Probably their two pinnacle records. Try to decide which one's my favorite, but "Serpent of the Light," "Bastards of Christ," "Blame It on God," "Till Hell," "This Is Hell We're In," "I Am No One," "Slave to the Cross." Back-to-back bangers on this album. I know a lot of people will say that this is their uh, downturn, but yeah, you're wrong. Honestly, you're definitely wrong. I consider this album their downturn, which is "In Torment in Hell," their 2002 album, or 2001. It was like a year after Incinehim, which I do not own on CD, and I wish I did because it's the only album that I do not own by Deicide. Really nothing to note on "In Torment in Hell." Probably like the one that I do not listen to at all. "Scars of the Crucifix" from 2004. Another good album. Oh, the case is broke on this one. Damn. Um, yeah, just "Scars of the Crucifix," "Fuck Your God," "From Darkness Come." Just the same stuff as before, and I think it was the last one with the Hoffmans on it. So yeah, it's their long time two guitarist, the original guitarist. But yeah, they still have some good albums nowadays. The Stench of Redemption, their 2006, 2006 album. Best one from here is Stench of Redemption and Death to Jesus. And Homage to Satan is another good one on here as well. "Till Death Do Us Part." Hopefully I don't get fucking censored. This isn't TikTok, so hopefully not. Hopefully fucking not. Because I'm sick of being fucking censored on the internet. Beginning of the End, "To Death Do Us Part," "The Eyes of God," "Hate of All Hatred," "Worthless Misery," "Angel of Agony." Great songs on here as well. Kind of like when Glenn Benton's vocals changed a little bit to not blow his voice out every 2 fucking years, but "To Hell with God," their 2011 album, and I think there was like a 3-year gap between the last one and this one. "To Hell with God," "Savior," "Angels of Hell," "Servant to the Enemy of the Enemy." Just fucking great stuff, honestly, on that one. Kind of like not one of their best albums and not one of their worst. Kind of like a middle of the road album. In the Minds of Evil from 2013. I think, yeah, 2013. Probably one of their best albums. Has stuff like "God Kill," "Thou Be Gone," "Beyond Salvation," "Trample the Cross," which is another really good one. "Trample the Cross" is a really good song as well. And we get to Deicide's "Overtures of Blasphemy," or their newest one, which is kind of a letdown, honestly. Kind of a letdown album from them from 2018, but they haven't released since, so hopefully when they finally release again, it's good. "De Guile," "Savage Mutiny," really good. Black and Death, I think it's Black and Death metal, but yeah, you could actually, I think, yeah, this album is on Spotify. Just DEGIAL. Look that up. You want to check this one out. Really good stuff on this one. Only listened to it a couple times, but yeah. And it was a blind buy. It was one that I did not listen to before I actually bought it on a record store when I seen it. And we move on to my favorite symphonic metal band, which is Delain, of course. Delain. This is their first album, the one that basically got me into that genre, Lucidity, and the one that I compare every single album that comes out of that genre to. to the detriment of a lot of albums. Sever, Frozen, No Compliance, Shattered, The Gathering. Just some great stuff on here. One of the more classic albums from that genre. April Rain from 2009, which is like 3 years after that. But April Rain, the big title track, April Rain, it has a video for it. Another one with the video for it. Yeah. The ones with the video for it are usually like the big songs off the album, and it is the big one off the album. So yeah, I need to go get something to drink, so I'll be back. I'm back. Well, had to go get something to drink because I've been talking for so long, and throat gets dry, and yeah, not fun, not very fun. But next one is another Delain record, We Are the Others, or their follow-up from 2012. This is one of their best ones with stuff like Milk and Honey and We Are the Others. Mother Machine is also really good. Generation Me and Babylon is also really good as well. Another one that, if you're into the symphonic metal genre, this is one of the bands, one of the albums to check out. The Human Contradiction from 2014. Kind of know the years, but to make sure I know. Here Come the Vultures, probably the best one, or My Masquerade. Moonbathers from 2016. Yeah, 2016. The song has Hands of Gold, Dance Macabre. A lot of great stuff on that one as well. And we get to the 2021, which is the Apocalypse and Chill, or the last one with Charlotte on vocals. Masters of Destiny is one of the best songs that they've ever done. Absolutely. And Burning Bridges, two of the best songs that Delain has ever produced. And then we get to the 2022 album, the 2023 album, new one from, and yeah, Dark Waters. I did a review on this one as well on my channel just recently, and it was the first video, or one of the first videos I did in the new setup. We get to Belfago, which is war metal from Brazil, I think it is. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, from Brazil. Into the Eye of Satan. Look up that title on Metallum or Metal Archives, and this will come up. It's war metal. It's, of course, the blackened or the deafened black metal, whatever you want to call it. I call it war metal because it's a distinction. It's a distinction genre, very different than what you would get any other way. Demons and Wizards, another great band as well. It has John Schaefer of Iced Earth and the vocalist from Blind Guardian, two really great musicians in the metal genre. Actually haven't listened to this album the lot. I've mostly listened to their newer one and their second album. This one, Touched by the Crimson King. There's some really great stuff they've done, and they always just put this one big long ass song at the very end, which is just, they always have a big long song on here. Some, not on this album, but the like 2019 one before the You Know What went down. Yeah, love that album as well. And then the one Demons and Wizards 3, which has Wolves in Winter, Timeless Spirit, Dark Side of the Majesty, and Children of Cain. Holy shit, Children of Cain is one of the best songs that they've ever done. Hands down, great. Then we get to Destruction, which is my favorite thrash band of all time, and one of the big Teutonic thrash bands from Germany. Sentence of Death and Infernal Overkill double pack, which, yeah, Infernal Overkill is one of the great albums from the 80s, in my opinion. And then it follows it up with Eternal Devastation, which is another one of their one of their best ones. Curse the Gods with Life Without Sense, United by Hatred, Eternal Ban, Upcoming Devastation. Just, yeah, this album is fucking great. It's just absolutely fucking great. Destruction, Release from Agony, the follow-up to that, their third album. And yeah, this is an really old CD that I found at a record store when I lived at my old place and really didn't have such a crunch with money. But yeah, the best ones on here are Release from Agony and Sign of Fear. The Antichrist from 2001. Another one of their, this is the one that has Nailed to the Cross and Thrash Till Death and Dictators of Cruelty. This is the album that they basically play everything off of. If you see them live, I've seen them live once. And I seen them with Nervosa, which is another great thrash band. Metal Discharge, another great one from this band. I know a lot of people don't like this one too much. I actually quite enjoy it. I think it's one of their better ones. Days of Reckoning from 2011. Hate Is My Fuel is on this one as well. Sorcerer of Black Magic, The Demon is God, Church of Disgust. Church of Disgust being one of my favorites from them. So yeah. We move on to the last stack that is actually over here, and I have to go and get the other stack from over there. So I will be pausing again. So yeah, I don't edit these videos. I edit a little bit, like edit the front part out where I'm like lining everything up, but yeah. Under Attack from 2016, stuff like Under Attack, Generation Nevermore. Generation Nevermore being one of their better songs as well. Shit. Born to Perish. Just absolutely great. Rotten, Betrayal, Butchered for Life, We Breed Evil, Fatal Flight 17, Ratcatcher. Ratcatcher is one of their best songs that they played live when I seen them. And we get to their absolutely magnificent and pretty high in the list if you actually know where this one is. I'm not going to spoil it for the end of the year video from last year that was recorded a couple months ago. But yeah, this one was fucking amazing and got pretty high on the yeah, if you know where it is, you know where it is, but go watch that video if you want to know. Diabolical, No Faith in Humanity, Repent Your Sins, Ghost from the Past, The Lonely Wolf, State of Apathy, just absolutely a fucking banger. Absolutely a banger record. And we move on to Diamond Head with the Lightning to the Nations. The original album, it took a very long time for anybody to find an actual original copy of, to reproduce this album. It was basically like non-existent for the longest fucking time, and it was usually just bootlegs that nobody knew if that's how the album actually sounded or not, or it was just made up. Or yeah, but they finally reproduced this album properly, and yeah, now I can listen to it. Now I can actually hear Am I Evil, which Metallica covered, and yeah, I prefer this one. I prefer the Diamond Head version. Honestly. W. Bulgir, another one that black metal purists will absolutely fucking hate, because, yeah, they hate a lot of stuff. Puritanical, Euphoric, Misanthropia from, yeah, it doesn't, 2001. From 2001, probably the most well-known album. Puritania is on this one as well. Pretty classic song. Death Cult Armageddon by W. Bulgir, another I'm not really a huge Dummy Bulgier fan, but I do listen to them here and there. Like, when I want to listen to them, I'll listen to them, but yeah. Dummy Bulgier with, Insort Dabali, I think it is. Probably butchered the fuck out of it because it's not in English. And yeah, I don't know how to speak any other language, so I gave it my best shot. The Chosen Legacy is probably their best song, in my opinion. It's just such a brutal song. I know a lot of people consider this their worst album, but this is the introduction album that I had to this band, so it kind of has a little special thing to it for me. And we move on to Dio, which actually I have all the Dio albums, so you want to see what all of the Dio albums actually look like because they're pretty fucking hard to find or track down. I had a bitch time tracking these ones down. Like, absolutely. Holy Diver from 1983. If you've seen my Dio ranking, I don't know how good it is because it's one of my older videos, but stuff like Stand Up and Shout, Holy Diver, Straight Through the Heart, Rainbow in the Dark. Great stuff on this one. Classic album. But The Last in Line is better, honestly. For me, it's better than Holy Diver. I prefer this one more than Holy Diver. I know a lot of people get mad at me for saying that one. We Rock, Last in Line, I Speed at Night. Kind of a weird song, I Speed at Night. Not good to speed at night. Don't speed at night, kids. Please don't speed at night. Evil Eyes, Mystery, Eat Your Heart Out, Egypt, The Chains Are On. I fucking love that song, Egypt. Sacred Heart from 1985. The first half of the album is fucking great, but the second half of it's a little bit dull. Songs like King of Rock and Roll, Sacred Heart, Another Lie, Rock and Roll Children, Hungry for Heaven, and then the rest of it's more of like, okay, I can listen to it, I can enjoy it, but not really my stuff, my type of stuff that I want to listen to. Dream Evil. This album is really good. I know a lot of people like disregard this album as like a product of its time, but it's not. Sunset Superman, a lot of people don't like. I like that one. Night People, Dream Evil. All the Fools Sailed Away, just an absolute classic song, honestly. Absolutely classic album for what it is at the time. Lock Up the Wolves, probably my least favorite of Dio's stuff. I know that might be controversial, but yeah, not really a whole lot on here that I quite go back to when I listen to Dio. It's more of like the other albums that I usually check out. Strange Highways from 1994. Actually the one that is kind of like directly inspired by what they did with Sabbath at the time with Dehumanizer. If you've listened to Black Sabbath's Dehumanizer, you kind of know what I'm talking about. More of like a prog type thing that they did with that one. And then Angry Machines. A lot of people fucking hate this album. A lot of people do. I absolutely love this album. I think it's one of their best ones. Big Sister, Golden Rules, Dying in America, Institutional Man, Don't Tell the Kids, Hunter of the Heart. Absolutely amazing stuff. I do like the robot theme that they have on the front with the Angry Machines. I think it's a great theme. And I will be back with the next stack. Well, I'm back. And we have 4 stacks left to go. So let's get into it. Let's finish this video and send you on your day. Next one is Dio's Magica from 2000. I kind of wish Dio actually did another Magica record. He was planning on doing that before he ended up passing away in 2010. Would have loved to see another Magica. He had a part 1 and a part 2 and a part 3 planned for this project, but never got around to it. But yeah, it's one of their best albums, honestly. It's a concept album by Dio. It's more of like over the top and crazy. Lord of the Last Day, Fever Dreams, Turn to Stone. Just great stuff on this one. hopefully not a lot of people disagree with me with that one being one of their best albums. Killing the Dragon, what was it? This one had a guitarist I think was on the band Lion, I think it was. Doug Aldrich was on, I think he was in the band Lion as well. Early like glam / hard rock band at the time in the 80s. But yeah, this album is amazing. His guitar riffs are amazing on this album. I think everything is top notch for Dio. It always usually is. Better in the Dark, Scream, Alone Comes a Spider, Killing the Dragon, Throwaway Children. Just absolutely amazing stuff on that one. Dio, Masters of the Moon. Yeah, the last one that Ronnie James Dio recorded under the Dio Project. Just legendary band. Master of the Moon, The End of the World, The Man Who Would Be King, The Eyes, Living the Lie, I Am. Just great stuff on this one as well. We move on to I think I would consider them black metal. A lot of people would consider them death metal, which is the section, The Somber Lane from 1993, I think. Yeah. What year is this? 1993. The Somber Lane. It took me a long time to track down this one, and yeah, the follow up I actually found quite easily, which I'm going to show next, the Blightsbane album. But yeah, this is one of the newer albums that I picked up, one of the more recent additions to my collection that probably a long time people that have watched this channel do not know of. Yeah, Somber Lane, great stuff on this one. Amazing album that you should check out. I know they did a whole lot of bad shit back in the days, but yeah, can't excuse it for what it was back in the day, black metal. Storm of the Lightsbane. Yeah, just this is like their pinnacle album. It has like Night's Blood, Unhallowed, Thorns of Crimson Death, Soul Reaper. It's great stuff on this one as well. Fuck. Breaking the Chains from Dokken, classic glam metal. Glam metal from, this one's 1983, I think, yeah, 1983. Very hard CD to find because, like, this is, like, their album that they don't like for some reason. I think it's great. The only song that you kind of have a little bit of problem with is Felony and Young Girls. Like, kind of a creepy 2 songs, but it is what it is. It's fucking glam metal back in the day. It's like the age of Motley Crue and shit like that, so. Tooth and Nail, Dokken, the follow-up to that, their second album. Without Warning, Tooth and Nail, Heartless Heart, Just Got Lucky, Into the Fire, Alone Again. Classic stuff on this one as well. Dokken has been one of my favorites for years, including their newer ones, which a lot of people are like, why do you listen to their newer ones? But that's because their band has always been good, never really produced anything bad. Under Lock and Key, Unchain the Night, The Hunter, In My Dreams, It's Not Love, Jaded Heart. Classic stuff there too. Back for the Attack from 1987, or their last one before they went on a little bit of a hiatus. And yes, a lot of these songs was featured on the Nightmare on Elm Street movie, the third one. And yeah, I've watched that movie so many fucking times. I'd never want to see it again. I never want to see that movie ever again. But yeah, I probably will during Halloween time, but because it's always on. And yeah, Dream Warriors. It was the title track of the movie and the title track, and the last song on this album. They included a song that was made for a movie on this album. So Dysfunctional, the return one, more of like a alternative / grunge record. You know how I feel about grunge, but I actually do not hate this album. Shadows of Life, Hole in My Head, The Maze, Too High to Fly. Some really good stuff on this one as well. And then we get to Shadow Life. Actually, one of their one of their best albums, honestly. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, but there's just a lot of good shit in here. Puppet on a String, Cracks in the Ground, Sky Beneath My Feet, Convenience Store Messiah. A lot of weird songs, a lot of weird guitar parts. So yeah, just great stuff on that one as well. Erase the Slate, the one that was like the return to like really like heavy metal. Erase the Slate, Mattis Hatter, Shattered, One, Who Believes. Great stuff on this one as well. More of like a heavy metal sound than what their two previous ones were. But still has that little 90s thing going on. Long Way Home from 2002. I do not actually know. I don't have the 2004 album that they did. Wish I had that one because it was good. Sunless Day, Little Girl, another one that's quite, yeah. Goodbye, My Friend, Magic Road, Heart Full of Soul. It's great stuff on that too. And we go to Lightning Strikes Again, or their like really like return to that like early sound that they had. Standing on the Outside, Give Me a Reason, Heart of Stone. Another one. I'm kind of speeding through this a little bit to kind of get this done. I don't want it to be an hour video. Probably will be, but yeah, I want to prevent that a little bit. But Broken Bones, or their newest album to date from 2013, from Frontier, 2012 record, 2012 from Frontiers, which is also the same record company that produces puts out Stripers material, which is another really good band out there. Another good glam metal that I actually kept with the glam for years and years and years until they went and did some fucking grunge and new metal shit in the 2000s. Yeah. We get to the Doors, actually. I'm a big Doors fan, actually, too. Waiting for the Sun from 1968. I think it's their third album, I think it is. Don't quote me on that. Probably is. Knowing that I can remember quite a lot of stuff about music, but nothing else. Roasting myself here. Why do I do this? Morrison Hotel. Another one. This is one of the best albums, honestly. No. Yeah. Anybody who shits on this album is completely fucking wrong and needs to change their opinion immediately. Morrison Hotel is probably one of their best albums out there. LA Woman, or the last one that I have from the Doors. That's the Wasp, Texas Radio, and the Big Beat, probably my favorite song by them of all time. LA Woman, the Channeling, Riders on the Storm, just classic stuff on that one as well. And we get to Dope, or the band that's on my shirt. Felons and Revolutionaries, they are a new metal, groove metal. This is new metal, but later on they went to groove metal, and yeah, a lot better stuff on the groove metal category. Pig Society, which is basically, I think, about police, I think. Debonair, Everything Sucks, Sick, Kimberly's Ghost, Spine for You, One Fix, just everything on here is fucking good. Shit Life, Wake Up, I Am Nothing, and a NWA's Fuck the Police cover that is on here as well. That is somewhere in this album. It's a hidden track because they couldn't list it. You know the reason why. Dope, Life, another Dope album. Take Your Best Shot, Downward Never, Nothing Why, Stop, Thanks for Nothing, Die Motherfucker Die, which is probably it's their biggest song. But yeah, 2001. Next one would be Group Therapy from 2003. I think, yeah, 2003. Recon, I think, yeah, this one's from Recon. Falling Away, Bitch, of course. Let's Have a Bachelor Party with Booze, Guns, and Fire Trucks, I think it is. It's weird stuff there, too. Sing, which is kind of more of a ballady type thing. Paranoia, Bring It On. Great fucking shit, honestly. Dope, American Empathy from 2005. And they had a big long wait until 2009 when they released the next one that's up. The ones I like on here are No Way Out, Bastard, Sex Machine, and Revolution. And I Wish I Was the President. I really do wish I was the president. If I did become the president, I don't know if I would regret it or not. Probably would regret it, but yeah. I wish I was the president. I really do. Dope, No Regrets. From 2009, or probably where Dope found a new hard hitting sound to this album. It's very fucking heavy and weird. It's not like the other albums that they've done previously. The best ones on here are Addiction, My Funeral, Dirty World, We Are, Violence. Addiction is basically about how he's addicted to somebody, and yeah, it's just fucking great song. Blood Money Part 1. Hopefully I don't get censored. Fuck you, censorship. Blood Money, Lexapro, Drug Music, a New Low. Taking It Down to a New Low for me. End of the World, Selfish Numb, 1999. Great stuff on this album as well. And yeah, I don't have their newest one because, well, their newest one recently came out and I couldn't find it on CD just yet, but I did review it already, so. Doro, Raise Your Fists, another one. Doro Pesch, one of the classic artists in metal. A lot of great stuff on this album as well. Check that one out. Why is this one so, no, this one shouldn't be here. This one shouldn't be here. That's later. There we go. Dragon Force, or, yeah, the shirt that I had on last time in part 3. I should have worn it this time. But, yeah, with Valley of the Damned, or their first album. It wasn't on a major label just yet, but yeah, Dragon Force, one of my favorite power metal bands of all time. Invocation of Apocalyptic Evil, the intro, and then Valley of the Damned, Blackfire, Winter Night, Starfire, and just this album is just a fucking classic, honestly. People that shit on their first album and people that shit on their first album saying it's one of their worst. Yeah, I kind of agree with it. That it's kind of the worst album, but it's not like any reason you should shit on it because it's still a really good album. Sonic Firestorm. My Spirit Will Go On is the first song, and then Fury of the Storm, Dawn of a New World. Soldiers of the Wasteland, which is a 9-minute fucking masterpiece. It's almost 10 minutes. Say 9 minutes, but yeah, just absolutely fucking great masterpiece of a song. Inhuman Rampage, the third album, or the one with In the Fire and the Flames. Operation Grounded Pound's on here. Cry for Eternity, and Revolution Death Squad is another one on here. I kind of prefer their later stuff, actually. I don't have their 2012 one, but yeah. Ultra Beatdown, or the last one with their first founding vocalist that was on Dragon Force. Reasons to Live, which is basically like a power metal / black metal song. If someone wanted to create power metal and black metal, put power metal and black metal together, yeah, Dragon Force already did that with Reasons to Live. Heroes of Our Time, Heartbreak Armageddon, Inside the Winter Storm. It's an okay record. It's not their best. It's not their worst. Dragon Force, Maximum Overload. Yeah, Maximum Overload from 2014. This one does have a was it Ring of Fire cover? Yeah, Ring of Fire. The last song is the Johnny Cash cover. Songs like The Game, No More. No, it's not The Game, as in Motorhead's The Game, for all the wrestling fans. Three Hammers. Three Hammers is just one of the fucking best one. Extraction Zone, City of Gold. Probably one of the best, like, this is where they came back almost. It's basically where they started doing something that got us excited again about Dragon Force, because we were kind of like, they released two like albums, and then, well, Maximum Overload was like yeah, they're back. They're definitely back. Reaching into Infinity, this one was absolutely fucking blasted by critics and saying that it was bad. And, well, I don't agree with them. Actually, I don't agree with them. I think it's like the same kind of stuff that Maximum Overload has. Same kind of sound, but like less interesting as Maximum Overload. Best one on here is probably Edge of the World, or Reaching into Infinity, or even Ashes of the Dawn. Great stuff on there too. Next one, Extreme Power Metal, or their newest one from 2019. Yeah, this is probably this is the one that came out basically at the time that I was getting back into them, after being on like a hiatus with them, not really listening to them too much because, well, I was listening to other stuff at the time. But yeah, when this one came out, I checked it out and I liked it. Best songs from here are The Last Dragonborn, Heart Demolition, The Last Dragonborn being from Skyrim, if you've ever played. I played Skyrim a shit ton back in the day, back in like 2012 when it came out, so I kind of understand that one. Draugr, Withering the Curse from 2004 on Moribund. Good album, really good black metal. Didn't really expect to like this album as much as I did, because it was kind of a blind buy. It was kind of a blind buy. I never listened to them beforehand, but yeah, liked it. Drawn and Quartered, Return of the Black Death. Very underrated black death metal band. This one was also on Moribund, but yeah, Drawn and Quartered is very fucking underrated of a death metal band. They're more underground, but yeah, they basically do what Cannibal Corpse does. But yeah, they do the gore thing, but they have more like a disease tone to it. Dream Evil, Evilized. Really not a big Dream Evil fan, but like the albums that Gus G was on are like some of their best albums, honestly. Gus G, one of my favorite guitarists, plays on this one. So yeah. Dr. Dre 2001. Yes, I'm a hip hop fan. I really do like hip hop, modern day and previous and old school. So yeah, I like this one. Best songs on here are Forget About Dre, The Next Episode. Yeah, that's basically all I got to say about that one. Thrashstone from DRI. I do like DRI as well. And yeah, this video is going to be over an hour. I told you it would be over an hour. I was hoping it wouldn't be, but yeah. Thrash, Beneath the Wheel. Gun Control is also on here as well. That's one of my favorite songs from DRI. Full Speed Ahead from 1995. Another really good album. I know a lot of people like disregard their other albums outside of Thrashzone, but they are really worth listening to, even outside of their like really popular one. Dropkick Murphys, one of the punk bands that I like. The Gang's All Here from 1999. Classic album. I know a lot of people in the metal community like don't like punk music, but I do like punk music. Dropkick Murphys Blackout from 2003, another great album. Has the Worker song on it, which is a very great song. The Warriors Code, probably their most legendary one with The Burden, Green Fields of France. That's a really good cover there. I think, yeah, I'm Shipping Up to Boston. Yeah, just absolutely great stuff on this one. It's got most of their classic songs on there. 11 Short Stories of Pain and Glory, the 2017 album. Another great one as well. I definitely like that album as well. And we get to the last little stack here, and it is over an hour. The Dropkick Murphys, Turn Up That Dial from 2011, 2012, 2021. Yes, this one has Mick Jones' Nick My Pudding, which is fucking amazing of a song and Smash It Up. There's some really good ones on here, and definitely should check this band out if you haven't so far. Drowning Pool, Desensitized from 2004, I think it is. Yeah, 2004. This one is Step Up, Numb. It's one of the guilty pleasure bands I have for new metal. And yeah, that was the first one without their original vocalist that passed away. Dying Fetus, Purification Through Violence, their first album. Yeah, this one is absolutely fucking brutal. It has songs like Skull Fucked and Raped on the Altar. Fucking amazing stuff on this one as well. Killing on Adrenaline from the second album from what fucking year is this thing? I think 1996 maybe, or what was this one? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what year this is, but it's still a good fucking album. It's got Fornication Terrorist, Kill Your Mother, Rape Your Dog. A lot of great shit on here. Kind of like tongue-in-cheek stuff, though. Stop at Nothing, which is, I think, the follow-up to that, or not the follow-up to that, because I had one before that. Yeah, just fucking great. Forced Elimination, Stop at Nothing, Onslaught of Malice. Probably one of the most brutal death metal bands you will ever come across. And, yeah, War of Attrition from 2007. If you want to check out my ranking of this, warning, it is an older video, so it might completely fucking suck ass, but I'm sorry about that. Raping the System, Fate of the Condemned, Homicidal Retribution. Fucking great stuff on that one, too. And we have Descending Depravity with Your Treachery Will Die With You, Shepherd's Commandment, Descendant into Depravity, which is their most popular song. And yeah, our last CD of the day to show is Wrong One to Fuck With by Dying Fetus. Hope everyone liked it. This was a very fun one to do. Not really, because I talked a fucking lot. Fixated on Devastation, Panic Amongst the Herd, Revealing the Abyss. Just fucking great stuff, honestly. Hope everyone liked it. And check out some of the stuff that I had on this video. Check out some of the CDs that I have. Yeah. And I will see everyone whenever I go with part 5 in the series, which will be the E category. And maybe even the F if I can fit those in, because, well, don't really have too many F CDs. But yeah, I'll see everyone in the next